be a member of our service, and TAG is allowing you guys to purchase smaller numbers of those ports so that you can offer these services to your business as well as your user community as well and your clients. The service is...
interject there if I may, all right, what our objective is here, guys, and what we hope to be able to complete with you. As you know, we've been looking for the appropriate video solution for well over a year. We stumbled on a on-prem solution last year, and by stumbled, I mean not in locating it, by finding something that would actually service the needs that we were thinking we were going to get. We vetted AV, right, all through the end of last year. And right at the beginning of the year, we are able to make an arrangement that we believe is going to really be beneficial for all of us. A couple of significant objectives that we are attempting to accomplish here. One is, right, to provide a complete new communication tool between your offices, our STAR meetings in your offices, our convention, and all of our participants, where we have a capacity to have up to 30 live, engaged individuals, such as we have here today, and an unlimited number of individuals that can listen to and observe whatever presentations we are making without being able to participate actively except through chat, all right, with us orally and through chat. It's not to be seen, all right, by other participants. The solution is as robust as we can possibly be. Oh, Mike Meldrum, we still don't see you on the screen.
Give me a moment.
Must be muted at the moment and having trouble.
Is everybody having trouble hearing Dale, or is it just me?
I'm not.
I'll get on the voice. My phone's 10 feet away from where I'm sitting here. So, and in any event, right, what we're attempting to do is to give us a capacity first to communicate internally, and second, for those of you, and I know the vast majority of you have high interest in reselling this product yourself to your end users out in the marketplace. I think Mike, I've already shared some of our potential pricing with Mike Meldrum, who is a former Blue Jeans user. It's a high quality service, but nowhere near as competitive as the transaction that we've engaged here with AGT. So our objective here today is, first of all, to let you see the system actually in use. Jarrett is going to be showing us, all right, how we go through its utilization. We'll follow that up, right, so with discussions for you about how we're going to be able to leverage our financial commitment to this whole back to each of you so that you can come on board first as users and secondly as resellers. So excuse the interjection, Jarrett, but just to give everybody a basic premise. And for Jarrett's benefit, I'd like him to understand that the majority of individuals on this call, including Mike, Bill Parker, Scott Hobbs, Dave you met before, the first three of those are the heads of three of our members' action teams. And those are groups of TAG members, 12, 14 members together. They're all going to be out here next week in San Diego. I wanted them to preview this before we got here so that they can begin helping to organize, all right, the dissemination of the product over a wider base of our TAG membership. Okay?
Okay. I appreciate that. So like I said, you guys, and how Dale said, you guys are looking to offer a video service and solution. Our solution is completely cloud-based. So you guys just have access to it from, the internet from anywhere. It does support all the standards-based, Polycom, life-size, Cisco video endpoints, your 323 and SIP video endpoints. Obviously, everyone that's connected on a desktop, it supports the desktop client. There's two different desktop solutions, one being the one that you're using with this install client, and it does also support a web-based solution as well that is Java-based. So if a user can't install something, they can go to the Java client and use that, so it allows them to connect in a couple different ways from the desktop. It does support both PC and Macintosh in all your major browsers. So for any of your clients that do use Macintoshes or Safari, Google Chrome, any of that, we support all those different things. I can see a couple guys are finding the video mute things and things like that in order to mute their video in the call. It also supports connectivity to mobile devices. So AJ is actually connected on his iPhone currently. So we have support for Android and iOS. All of the mobile devices, the apps are free. There's no, licensing fee for any of those things. There's no licensing fee for the desktop applications, so you don't have to buy individual licenses for all the users. You're doing it based on simultaneous connectivity or a certain number of ports. And then you can have unlimited usage, unlimited user licensing, anything like that. It's just a matter of how many ports and people can be connected into the system simultaneously based on how many ports you purchase. And so then, you use essentially Erlang models to, model how many users you can actually sell the solution to before you oversubscribe and oversubscribe your number of ports before you have to worry about purchasing more ports. So it really lets you grow your business and build a good revenue stream before you actually have to worry about, purchasing additional ports to grow that business. Plus, we allow a little bit of burstability above the number of ports that you guys purchase in order to ensure that you don't have a denial of service from any of your clients. Obviously, there's sure, absolutely.
Project one other thing. As you begin to grow in this, all right, the advantage of being able to oversubscribe really doesn't start to grow until you get to 10, 12 ports, somewhere that at a minimum. We have committed to a significantly greater number of ports, 30 initially here. We are going to give you a program where at the beginning you can oversubscribe, even though you may have only, purchased 3 ports under the tag umbrella, right, at the beginning. So in addition to the capacity that Applied Global may give us to burst, we are always going to be in a position to allow you to burst a little bit greater than, what you have subscribed to us in ports. And out of the get-go, we're going to give you about the early adapters here. We're going to give you some fair amount of capacity to sell, even though you may have only purchased 3 or 4 ports yourselves to begin with, until you get a little bit of a client base underneath you so you can begin purchasing more ports. We're going to really give you as much flexibility as you possibly can in bringing this thing to market to your customers. And we're always going to be way out in front of you in the number of ports that we have available for that which you as individuals have purchased.
Any questions for me that so far, or are we good? We good there?
I have a question, Jarrett.
Absolutely.
How many participants can you have per port? Is that unlimited?
So each connection is a participant or is a port. So right now we have 8 participants in the meeting. So we're using 8 ports right now, if that makes sense. But you can have an unlimited number of meetings, essentially. It's just a matter of how many people are simultaneously connected into a system. So for, say, like a 100-person organization, if you have 100 users that have meetings, based on usage models and oversubscription rates and things like that, you probably never need more than 10 ports. So you can normally go an 8 to 10 to 1 ratio on oversubscription models versus users, just because of, everyone's not always going to be in the system at the same time kind of thing.
Okay.
Mike, I think we are going to give you an economic approach here where you are selling licenses by the seat as opposed to by the port, okay? At least as you initially get going, until you get to the point where you have sufficient ports of your own to be able to use the oversubscription model successfully.
Okay.
One of the things that we really kind of pride ourselves on, and one of the kind of things that's our secret sauce with this, is that obviously all you guys were able to just come right in. I can see some of you are working from home, but some of you are also working from offices, unless you guys just have really odd decorating at your house. Then, it's one of those things where our solution is firewall friendly as well. So with your standards-based Polycom, Cisco, life-size solutions, you have to buy all this firewall traversal hardware and everything to get in. From our desktop and mobile device clients, we tunnel everything through a single port that's already open in firewall. So we're tunneling all the video traffic that you're seeing through port 443. So it's a web-based port that's already open in probably 95% of networks. The only time you really run into problems would be in maybe a DoD environment and everything. And outside of that, you really don't have a whole lot of issues with that. So that's kind of one of those things that really allows users to connect from any device, from anywhere, at any time, with no IT support. So we really limit the amount of IT requirements that you have on it as well, and IT personnel requirements that you have on it as well. The service is full featured as far as its support for connectivity from all the different devices. And then once you're in the call, all the different kind of standard video conferencing solutions and options that you have are available to the system. So right now, everybody on their video screen probably sees a microphone with an X through it. So I've muted everybody, and I can manage that individually or as a group as the meeting owner. So meeting owners have that ability to mute and unmute people individually on the video client. Additionally, I have the ability to lock and unlock the conference. So you're going to get a little locks up there in the top left-hand corner as well. So now even if someone has the meeting pin, it has an additional 128-bit encryption on the call, so users can't join the meeting. Extra level of security that's there on top of the standard SSL security that's running on the video stream already. Additionally, the service supports streaming and recording as well. So if you have maybe a town hall meeting or a CEO address, and it's more of a one-way kind of communication, a training solution, or a training episode where a trainer is recording something, they can do that, and then they can stream it out to 100 users at once, and it doesn't go against your port count. So that those 100 users that are just watching it one way and just viewing the stream don't have to worry about taking up those 5 ports or those 4 ports, any of those ports that you subscribe to or purchased. Then you do also have
question there.
Sure.
Clarification there. Those people that are streamed to can, however, come in and utilize, communicate via chat or by an audio bridge such as this, correct?
Correct. So if they were on an audio-only bridge, they could dial in this service just using an audio dial-in number and view the stream live. If they're doing that, the stream is going to be a little bit behind just nature of streaming. It has to encode it and then stream it out. But they can also chat real-time back. So if you are in a town hall setting and you have maybe a moderator that's taking questions from the chat and can ask the speaker, and the speaker can answer the question, you can do all that stuff through the chat. So even stream users do have that ability there as well. Some of the other things that you have as a meeting owner are options to change layouts and things. I'll go ahead and change the layout to a different view, and everyone will see me large in the one screen. I can mute my video to where no one sees me, so if I needed to step away, I could grab a phone call or something if I needed to do that, or if I just needed to look away for a second, I could mute my video and do that. All users have that ability. Then the auto continuous presence feature that we've been in will also automatically adjust the layout on the screen based on how many people are in the screen. So it would go from a full screen to a 2x1 to a 2x2 to a 4x1. All those different options are available to meeting owners from this service. And then I can also, from this client, dial out, just clicking on a plus sign on the client, and it'll allow me to dial out and use meeting controls there. One other thing that we do have is the ability to share content. So what I'll start to do here is actually push a presentation to you, and that's actually going to change the layout on your screen. So now you're going to get content large and video small on the screen. In the top left-hand corner, you saw a layout on the AJ on your iPhone. You don't get that layout option. You just kind of get, since it's only a small screen, you only get the presentation large.
Yeah, I can see the
but
presentation.
on the desktop client in the top left corner, a little kind of 3-icon little image popped up, and if you hover over any of those images, you have the option to actually click on them and change the layout of what the screen looks like. So you could make it look with the video large and the content small. You could make them equal size. You can make them side by side. You have all those options, and that's all from a drop down that showed up on the top left. So you can present full content with the system as well. All the other host controls that I had spoken about, you can see are the options here: streaming, recording, disconnecting, adding participant, forcing an active speaker. All those options are there, made available in the client to users, or to the meeting owner, I'm sorry. Kind of run through a lot right there. Any questions about any of those things that I've kind of gone over? Okay.
Jarrett, on that presentation on the top, the words are a little bit fuzzy to me. Is that in a screen adjustment on my end or what?
It may just be, I need to make it larger just because it wasn't very big on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, the presentation looks perfect to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me too.
Okay, yeah, so it may have just been an issue where it wasn't quite large enough on the screen.
Can any one of us have presentation?
Anyone can present, so if I stop presenting my screen, I can go, we'll go with, let me pick Mike. On the left side, you'll see a little, where there's like a guy running out a door. Right below that, there's something that, there you go, allows you to present your screen there. And so now anyone can present their screen at any time. And then, I don't know if you have a dual screen system. Well, you obviously have a dual screen system, Mike. But you can actually present which screen you want. You don't have to select only the one that you have the video on. You can select the other one and push that instead. So you actually have the option to select which screen you want to send. If you have a standards-based video endpoint, an H.323 endpoint, or a SIP video endpoint, it will actually send all this to those endpoints as well. And then if you're streaming and recording the meeting, it'll actually record all the content that's being sent as well, and timestamp it with the video and the audio that's running in the call. So all these options are available to users from the system as well. So then Mike obviously just dragged his video client over to the other screen.
So, is there an ability, assuming that you transfer capacity to present his screen to Mike, is there an ability to see Mike and the presentation and see Mike also in larger form than the other participants on the screen?
If we change the name, the way that it was laid out, so if I was to go in and say I made it like that, and so now Mike is the large video participant. It depends on what the screen layout is. So if when we were in that 3x3 layout, that's just the layout where everybody is the same size. If I make it to where one person on the layout would be larger, than who's ever presenting their screen will appear larger to everyone. I also do have the ability to select someone individually, or select Mike and then force them as the active speaker if I wanted to do that.
And so I have changed my outlook and my screen, especially now that I have a large picture of Mike's screen on my screen, and Mike quite substantial, and then the other participants at smaller size.
Right. So if Mike actually went up to the top left and then changed his layout on his screen, we'd obviously all see what he did there. If he had his client on the same screen that he was presenting, so we'd be able to see all that stuff going on as he changed the layouts of his screen.
Now, Jarrett, this is Larry. When we did this last one, I can no longer see you.
Okay. That's because I changed the layout again. So if I go back to an auto, you'll see me again now.
Okay.
And so it's just a matter of whenever I change the layout, it forces Mike to be large since he's presenting his screen. So if he stopped presenting his screen, then everyone would come back, full screen. We would just see the video of everyone again.
Okay.
And I now have lost the visual of Dave.
Dave, it looks like.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, I've lost Dave also.
Okay, so I'll disconnect Dave. It looks like he may have some sort of network problem, and then he can just reconnect. I feel like we had this problem whenever he was with us last time too, a couple weeks ago. Whenever we had that, he had a problem.
Hey, Jarrett.
With the network. Yes,
Jarrett, in regards to streaming, okay, if we have a connection, so I'm at my desktop and I am sharing this to a legacy video conferencing system, life size, Panasonic, Tamberg, Cisco, whatever. Do we have any issues with streaming, connecting to any of the legacy equipments in any of the formats, whether it's SIP or H.323?
So if you're connected to a legacy endpoint of Polycom, Cisco, Lifesize, whatever you got, they're going to be connected to the call H.323 or SIP. That's how they're actually connected. When you're streaming, it's an MPEG-4 or Windows Media Stream, so it's something that you can view from your mobile devices or from your desktop. It's not something that you would view a live stream on a video endpoint. They would be connected as an interactive participant, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so just to make sure, because I would see, and I probably need more in how to position the product.
Yes.
But if I was an enterprise and I had multiple EBC units placed throughout the country, okay, at different companies, and I want to tie in with them from my desktop and share information. You're saying that endpoint, that video conferencing endpoint, could not see my presentation?
No, they could. They would.
They could.
They would see it. Yeah, they would see it via. We're talking about two different things, I guess. When you're sharing content, you're not streaming anything. You're just sending content via H.239 or BFCP, which are the standards-based endpoints content sharing functionalities or capabilities. Everything. And so, if you were sending your desktop like you are now, the endpoint would see video, the live video of the 9 of us on the screen, and then on the second screen, if they had a second screen, they would see the content there.
Okay.
Or if they only had a single screen, they would get content big, and then they would get us in a little picture-in-picture.
Excellent.
And then same thing, you actually have the ability to upload files, so you can upload a PowerPoint, you can upload other JPEGs to the system, and then if you want to walk in somewhere with just your tablet, you can actually present that file that you've uploaded just from your tablet. To where then you could literally walk into a sales call, do a presentation with just your tablet, and walk through slides and actually walk them through that on the screen as well, so you actually do have that functionality as built into the system as well.
So right now I'm connected over my phone. Is anybody listening to it over their desktop as well?
Right now nobody is. I have everybody muted. The reason we had
Okay.
everybody come in on the phone was just in case somebody had an issue, connecting or pulling in their video system or anything like that, or if they didn't have the right microphone set up or something like that to avoid the echo just on the first one, then we can always work with everyone to make everything work. Our help desk is available 24 hours a day, and they're always here, and they're providing tier 1 through 3 support for TAG and for their partners. All that stuff's available from our help desk. Our help desk, like I said, is based in the U.S. We're based here in Atlanta. And everybody on there is, Cisco certified, Polycom certified, so they can also help with your endpoints or your clients' endpoints, or anything like that. So they're certified on that. We're a Polycom certified service partner. We're Cisco certified. We're LifeSlash certified. We resell most of them, not all of them. And then we have over probably 100 years of experience combined between all of our help desk employees. We have a couple guys who've been doing video on our help desk for over 15 years individually, and then everybody else has been doing at least 4 or 5.
Just to recap on the model, so we're looking at acquiring the services from you and reselling those services? Or are we buying them each time a client wants it, we're coming to you and signing them up as an account?
Allow me to address that, Jarrett, okay?
Yeah.
The manner in which we are going to be doing this, Scott, is pretty straightforward, okay? We are like a master agent that we have established in our relationship with AGT. AGT has a minimum position of, correct me where I'm wrong, Jarrett, but it's essentially 30 ports, right, at about $120 a port, right, to become one of their resellers. We're simply partitioning that and passing that on to you, right, and you will be able to private label this as your own brand, Scott, okay? You will have, right, the ability to resell, and it is a wholesale product to you from us, wholesale product from Apply AGT to us, all right, wholesale product from TAG to you, right? So you have complete control of the billing, complete control of the customer, complete control of the methodology in which you want to part and parcel out these sales units, if you want to call it, right? You'll be able to sell this by the port to your customer. You could sell it by the seat to your customer as an alternative, for example, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That make sense?
Yep.
Okay,
So one of the things I did forget to mention is that everything is white labeled. So all the web interfaces, the desktop interface that you guys are looking at, all that stuff would be labeled with your branding. So you're selling your service. You're not selling a TAG service. You're not selling an AGT service. You're selling your service. And then TAG is going to look at doing the mobile apps as well, because we can do that, but there's additional fees for the mobile apps because we do have to do development on those. And then we have to submit them to the app stores for the Apple iOS and the Android apps as well. But Dale can go through whatever models that they're doing for that, but there are fees for those to be branded. But all of the desktops.
Just to clarify, we have immediate and complete availability of all the mobile apps, just not how we will be under, all right, the application name and style and branding, all right, of AGT, not our own until we go out to white label those applications. And you would have to, if you wanted the mobiles to be in your white label too, you would incur the same type of fees that we would incur, all right, to white label it as tag. And they're fairly substantial, all right. They're one time on the other hand, all right, but they're in the $5,000 to $7,000 range, I think, for white labeling the mobiles. Is that correct?
Correct. But it's one of those things. If you're looking to build your own mobile app, $5,000 is pretty cheap.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's just to be certain that you don't need to. You can white label the solution completely, have everything being appeared as if it is your solution. It just will not be white labeled on mobile devices, all right, that interact with the system until and if you do white label there. There is no cost to the white labeling. Correct me again if I'm wrong. Is that right, Jack?
Right.
No
Correct.
cost to
no cost for the white labeling of desktop application.
For this solution. Okay, so we have paid a front end fee, all right, to put ourselves in this position. So you can come in and literally white label the solution as CTSs, all right, or as Comtex as of tomorrow, Scott, all right, and go from here to there. Scott, you appear frozen to me, by the way.
My wife says that too.
You are.
You are.
Yeah, it is.
You must be the bottom right. You are for me the bottom right. I'm going to disconnect you, Scott, and then if you just hit the connect button again, it should drop you back in. You could have taken some network hit somewhere.
He looked normal to me.
So I just hit.
I'll let you jump back to your
Hit the connect button again, and you should come right back in.
All right, hold on.
Hey, Jarrett, while we're waiting for Scott. Oh, go ahead.
Sure, go ahead. I was going to just say, Mike, if you can, I didn't know if you wanted to stop presenting your desktop or not.
Yeah.
If you're still sending that.
What's the billing software or model, and what's the actual function that clients see or we see to accomplish it?
The billing model is unlimited usage, Scott. So you are going to be selling let's say a port. Just to forget about bursting for a minute or oversubscription. Just take the basics, all right? You are going to purchase, let's say, a minimum of 3 ports, right? And or resell a minimum of 3 ports. That is going to give you unlimited utilization of this whole product, right? No per minute charges, nothing of that nature, with up to 3 participants. Okay? As you begin to be able to utilize the subscription models, all right, for oversubscription, you may have 10 ports, right, and you may sell utilization to 30 different ports on that same without, all right, any real concern whatsoever of no one being able to access 100% of the time. So you will be paying, and I'll use our current example of where we're at. We're at $110 a port, I believe it, $120 a port, to you guys coming in the door here for as few as 3 ports, right? For that $120 per port per month, $360, you have complete unlimited utilization for the system and anybody that you reach out to connect to for up to 3 participants. We're going to allow you actually to burst to more participants than that during until you get some additional ports purchased where you are bursting on your own. Does that make sense?
It does. So part of my question,
all you are going to see is a bill per month for the number of ports that you have purchased. 1 bill.
Okay, so somebody's billing me monthly, tag or someone, and I'm getting invoiced for that.
Correct.
I'm responsible for invoicing my client.
Correct. You own the client. So one of the big things that we do that's different than a lot of the other video providers or services providers out there is we let you guys own your clients. Okay, so a Blue Jeans model or some other models, they bill them directly. and they give you essentially a referral fee or something like that. That's how Video does it and things like that. It's not you keep your clients. You guys build your client relationship. You guys know the clients. You guys bill your clients. You keep the clients. We also let you, we're giving you unlimited usage, but if you wanted to do a per minute model, you absolutely could do a per minute model. It's up to you. And then there's usage reporting that you can run that says, client A ran 10,000 minutes this month. We bill them at 4 cents a minute or whatever the number is, so this is how much their bill is. If you want to do that, you absolutely can. We prefer the per port model with unlimited usage. It's one, easier to bill and easier to manage, which is easier on us because, we don't have 500 people and 50 people to do billing. And it's probably easier for a lot of you guys just to bill them one monthly bill. But if you want to design some other billing policy or other sales strategy, you absolutely can. And that's one of the things. We don't have a street price because we only sell through vendors like Tag.
And you will have portal access, Scott, right, to a series of reports that shows you precisely what utilization occurred, right, for your company and for all of your company's clients. Correct statement, Jarrett?
Correct.
Okay. I guess one of the things I'm just playing with in thought is can we just bake it into a premium service for a CTAP client where we've...
Yeah, just don't go quite there. We're already modeling that for you, Scott.
All right.
Okay? Because the answer to your question is absolutely, we can bake it in easily and readily, just based on the number of licenses per user. Okay?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what that is, or what you were saying, but my guess is you already have some sort of other services agreement where everything's licensed currently, and then you just add $5 or $10 a month per user onto it. And we do have managed service clients or providers that are our clients that do that, and they just say, for another $15 a month, you get unlimited video for every user, you get all that stuff. And they just bake it into that. We do have clients that do that currently.
Your answer to your question is yes, we can make it part, right, of our managed services offerings on the IT side. We can make it part of managed services offerings, which is what he called CTAP, Jarrett, on our voice side. All right, okay? And trust me, we will help you model that quite readily. We'll model it, price it, and put it into a package, for example, where we even have the single billing rolling, perhaps even from our capital resource, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Jared, I have a question for you. Actually, I have two questions. Can you talk about does the customer base look like that we're going to be going after to sell this product into? And then what is the recommended resale cost for this product to our end users?
The first one I'll do, the resale one I'll let Dale handle. The first one for what our clients are, and what our historic clients have been enterprises, small and medium businesses that are looking to add video services. Education market, AGT, while I said we don't sell directly to end users, we don't anymore. We just started that. I guess last January of 2013 is when we started only going through resellers. Prior to that, we had direct clients. A lot of state agencies. We manage over 500 video endpoints and over 4,000 users for the state of Georgia. And we own that video contract. We've handled MIT's our distance education and graduate school education, the Navy distance learning programs. We managed all that. So we did have some direct clients, that we manage, and guys like that are just looking to add video services and accessibility to the video, especially for people that have a lot of telecommuters or things like that. This is an easy way for all those users to join in because they don't have to do anything with their firewalls, with their Linksys or their home routers or anything. They can just go to a web browser, download something, and run it, and they can get through their firewall without having to make a lot of changes. As far as the reselling, and pricing, that's probably something more that Dale can answer as far as how they model things for you guys.
Yeah, and I suggest, all right, Mike, that we're going to see it in about 3 different formats for you, all right? We'll be discussing the pricing of this at the MAP meeting next week. The basic premise I would be suggesting is this, is when you begin with small users that are looking for 3 to 5, all right, licenses essentially, right? Individual connections, ports, whatever you want to call it. You're going to be in the probably $60 per user price range. I want you to think of it in relationship. You know the pricing at Blue Jeans.
Yep.
Right? The wholesale pricing there, for all practical purposes, for unlimited usage, is the wholesale price is about $60 a user a month. Right? Correct statement?
No, that is true.
Yeah, dramatically different, right, of what we are talking about here. You're going to have a cost of that of roughly 35% of that or 40% of that, all right, per port. Okay, so the issue of how we price, I think, is relative to three things. You need to have a model that is scalable and sufficiently affordable so that large-scale users can get this in at a price point that they are willing to use. That might mean to those users that effectively, all right, per port without oversubscription, you are selling at the price you pay per port. You are oversubscribing, they are not reselling, so they are not oversubscribing. Even with that, I can get a 7 or 8 to 1 ratio, right, when all is said and done, relative to the number of users that are going to be out there. We're going to find a secondary methodology, all right, of packaging this on a per-seat basis associated with things like CTAP, all right, or managed services. And that is going to be an understanding. We may be bundling it in at something as low as $8 or $9, all right, $7 or $8 a user a month, with full knowledge that if we're doing that on a $7 a piece for 20 phone system, that we really probably only have 3 potential users in that size company. Make sense?
No, it does.
So we're going to look at the variety of those things. You're going to have ultimate control of the pricing. As we always have, we are going to give you, all right, a variety of methodologies, right, to be able to approach your customer and make this saleable. The very first thing I want you to do is to get to a point where you guys can translate your purchases for what we need to get you off the ground into something where this system becomes almost instantly, at least, free for utilization for our internal purposes here at DAG, which means you got to go sell 3 or 4 seats. Okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Make sense?
Who's going to handle, Dale, if AGT is more on the wholesale side, who's going to handle the training, the sales training for our internal people to go out, to better educate them on this product so they know how to present it when they're talking to our customers?
Well, very honestly, we are obviously leaning very heavily on Jarrett right now. I believe that they perceive that the opportunity amongst the 90 plus of you that are likely to resell this, they have thousands of potential ports to be sold here. It's a great business opportunity for them. So I would expect over the short run, all right, that we're going to be able to lean on Jarrett, and he can kick me for putting him on the spot right now, to help us, all right, get some people off the ground. But in the long run, all right, TAG will be delivering sales training on this just like we do on everything else. What I'm going through right now is train the trainer. Okay, I'm the trainee of the trainer right now. Okay, and we would like each of you, all right, to become adept in the utilization of this system. You can see Larry, all right, is sitting in on this conference, right, precisely for everyone in our organization to be able to understand all the nuances of its capacity, so that A, we can show people how to use it, and B, clearly we'll be developing a variety of different types of sales approaches, right, to take it to market.
It's certainly one of those things also, leaning on me and other people at AGT is definitely not an issue, and then it's certainly one of those things where if TAG has 7, 10, 20 members, however many members sign up, if they want to have some sort of centralized training where everybody comes for a day or two or whatever, and we go through everything, we can always look at making something like that work as well, just so you can really see what a demo may be like when people have a tablet and a desktop and a video endpoint and whatever it is, and kind of a train the trainer almost for your companies as well. We train 1 or 2 people from your company, and then they can go back and show other people at your company. These are all the nuances of the interfaces as well as this is how you can pitch it and things like that.
Think about this situation, Mike. This is what we've been looking for ages, to be able to do this. Jarrett's kind enough to come to your next STAR meeting. We've got 14 owners there that are subscribed to the system, all right, and they're getting face-to-face training, all right, from Jarrett on how to do it. But we are reaching out to the sales staff at each one of those via this, all right, connectivity, right, to be training your salespeople simultaneously. I mean, that's what we have adapted video conferencing first for not for resale, but for this, but I perceive that the resale capacity for you, given the flexibility, the breadth of this solution, I mean, we've looked at them all, and frankly, all right, AGT checks more boxes than anyone else in the marketplace, video, Blue Jeans, anyone out there, right? They do, you can set any one of them up, all right, and you'll find that the others don't do one or two things that Applied's solution does, right? And not the reverse. So we've got a great solution, we've got a great completely wholesale model, and we have come to a pricing arrangement, right, that's going to give us all some real super latitude in the marketplace.
And one of the other things that we do offer for, you know, we give it to TAG, and TAG can obviously pass it on to you guys or whatever, is a full marketing kind of kickstart or startup kit that has a bunch of materials and all those different things in it, and included PowerPoint presentations that you can brand yourself, you know, marketing slicks, all these different things that you guys can brand yourselves, and then you can have that and give that as materials for your training, or for the training of your sales staff, and then also for your sales staff to pass to your clients to then say, okay, this is everything that the system does. This is everything that the solution can offer you, and this is the support that you're going to get in the SLAs that you're going to get from that solution. So we give you all that stuff, and there's no extra fee for any of that.
And we have it here, right? Janet is in the process of translating all of it to TAG's branding, and then just as we do with so many other things for you, right? You sign up for this, so all you're going to have to do is say, hey, have Janet send me my brand of materials, and you will get them already done.
Well, I think, you know, I'm excited with this, about this technology for sure. I think what we need help here at Complete Communications is more help on how we package this and sell it to the SMB market, who, I mean, that's, you know, my biggest, you know, the biggest percentage of my customers. So I think that's, I'm really excited about it. I was stoked about it when I seen the Blue Jeans apps, and I'm stoked about this. I see potential. I would just like Dale to maybe put together something for us of how we can package this. And with me saying that, I've got a hard stop at 4:25 because I got another conference call I got to jump on.
I'll just make one quick comment to you, Michael, all right, and that is, yes, we've got to develop a sales solution, all right, hitting larger scales clients. For all of our pre-existing clients, also we come back in, all right, this is an ideal solution for our customer advocates to be bringing to the marketplace. That's why, all right, you look at Larry nodding his head, it's one of the critical factors of why I want him to become as knowledgeable as possible. This is just a knock-em-dead, easy pass to pick up, all right, literally hundreds of customers, all right, with a few ports, okay, over the course of the next year or so.
It was a good presentation. Thanks, Jarrett.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you as well. You guys have a great day. I'm going to have to sign off, Dale.
Yeah.
Take care, Mike.
Bill Parker, haven't heard any comments from you there.
Well, I like what I see. I just, you know, it looks good to me. Again, I share the same interest in how we package it. I need to wrap my arms a little bit more around the pricing and the options we can present to the customer. And I'm sure when we're at the MAP meeting next week that will be a subject that you cover.
Yeah, not just, and you know, we're looking for input too, not just export, right? That's one of the great things that you guys bring to us is, wait a minute, right, relative to your base, what would you like to see? And, you know, we'll do the internal analysis for you in terms of the feasibility and profitability of any particular approach to the market.
Yeah, but I do like what I see. It's very easy to use. So far, the video quality, I've had very little jitter, and I'm quite impressed. I see it as a useful tool that we could include on our managed service packages, and I've already got several customers in mind that would definitely be interested in something like this.
Yeah. Very good. Scott?
So I was just going to comment, Dale, just as a wrap-up, too, you know, I've asked some questions. I've absorbed some of this. I'm certainly one who needs to hear it a couple of times before I really get the details of it. But from a broad picture standpoint, I really am interested in it. as Bill just laid out, I can see it benefiting us as being able to upsell or reach out to the client base and offer them something. At first blush, I think there's a lot of our clients that could use this, not having gone out and asked them if they already have some kind of solution, just my own thoughts on it, that they don't. We do get, customers asking about it. So if this comes as I'm viewing it, kind of a package here, it's ready to go, very easy to start up, very easy, to implement for a customer, and very easy for us to start up selling, then it's really got my attention. I'd love to hear a little bit more at the MAP meeting, but that's my first response. I like it.
Two more comments I'd like to make. I see this as also a sales tool for us. The only limitation that I think we're going to have is the number of people out there that still run desktops that don't have IP cameras at their desktop.
That's true, but the cost of a quality IP camera right now is here. Larry's sitting here, I'm sitting here. We're both, our office has got pretty poor light that are sitting in them. The quality's still fairly decent, pretty damn decent, all right? And I've got a $70, all right, Logitech camera that I'm using at this point.
Yeah, and you can pick cameras up for, $30 to $100 all day long.
Yeah, you can get darn good quality, all right, for less than $100 on a desktop camera these days.
Yes, yeah.
So next steps on this, Dale, we'll hear more at the MAP team meeting and then at the convention, or?
Long before the convention. It's my hope by the time we get to the convention, I would like to get each of you as MAP members, all right, signed up here. Dave Hyman's already asking me for contracts. I will have contracts ready by the time you get here. I would like to get each one of you guys signed up and on board, all right, with this before the convention. I'd like to also, I believe you can have end users, all right, on board before we get there, albeit it's less than 60 days away, or right at 60 days away where we're sitting here.
Good.
You can get rolling with this remarkably quickly, Scott, because its ease of use it blows me away. All right.
So really,
practice with it. Yes, go ahead.
So if we're paying you for it, we can create just for a very quick thought on the pricing. In TigerPaw or something else, we can create a line item and be billing for this service tomorrow morning for that. It's as simple as it seems.
Yeah.
For those that we're billing.
Here's what we're going to ask you to buy to begin with, and what we're going to give you. All right. I'm going to ask you to purchase a minimum of 3 ports. Right. But we are going to. That's $360 a month, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you need at least 3 ports, or you can't even make a 3-way connection, right? Okay. We at PAG are going to let you and the initial purchasers of this, right, burst to up to 12 ports effectively, or 12 users, right out of the gate, 4 each on each of those ports. I want to give you the opportunity to go out and be able to sell, for example, let's say 6 seats to somebody at $50 or $60 a month, and cover that $360 cost immediately. Then I'm going to want you to buy, all right, in increments probably of 3 ports or so, right, at a time. Haven't quite figured out that, but in really small increments for everything that we do, right, to give you the ability to get yourself up to where you have 10 to 15 ports worth of activity, right, where you can be selling over subscription on your share of our total ports. And that really doesn't work very well until you get up into, would you agree with me, Jarrett, about 10 or so being close to where you
Once you get to about 10, you're pretty good on oversubscribing those 10 ports, and you're pretty safe that you're not going to end up with users that are really overrunning the ports, yes.
Yeah, and in between, right, we're trying to stay in front of you guys. Our incremental burst on ports are 10 at a time, all right? We do not have the ability to apply to sell us 2 ports at a time, all right? So we're starting with 30, right? And we will stay well below the Erlanger model as we grow this during the first year with all of the different tag members, all right? we will probably use about half of the oversubscription capacity that we have, right? That is, we will have bought extra ports, all right? So that each one of you, as you grow this, we can, without worrying about the good graces of AGT and allowing us to burst, you will be bursting upon tags excess, right? And what that allows you to do is it allows you to sell earlier as if you were out there buying 30 ports or so to begin with. It begins to allow you to sell on an oversubscription basis when you really don't have enough ports to sell on that basis, okay? We want everybody to get out there. So here's as simple as this: $360 a month, all right, gets you out of the gate, and you'll be able to go and sell, all right, at least, all right, 6 seats, if you want to call it that, all right, to someone else. That is 6 users, right? I don't want to call them ports. I want you to keep thinking about ports in terms of your eventual oversubscription. But 6 seats or so, right out of the gate, next day, and not worry about, oh wait, if all 9 of those individuals got onto the system at the same time, would they be able to connect? You've only actually bought three entryways, all right? We're gonna give you up to that 9 to 12 right out of the gate, okay?
Okay.
And as soon as you get somebody under contract, right, you start turning this into a moneymaker for yourself. Obviously, we want you to bear, the cost of your actual utilization.
Do you see much of a boilerplate that you guys have, or is the contract? I don't know. It doesn't seem to need much.
Yeah, here I'll tell you. Okay, I have looked at our contract with AGT, and we are going to, frankly, all right, beg, borrow, and steal as much as we can for it as a form document for each one of you to utilize. It's a real good document. It's real straightforward, real. It's a few pages long, but it is a great place. I would be selling this on a year subscription basis, right? Or if I were selling anything less than that, all right, I would be getting a significant premium for sort of ad hoc or month-by-month utilization by somebody in the outrun. But there should be no reason you can't get your customers subscribed for 12 months, all right, to a package such as this.
Will we be obligated to you for 12 months?
Yes.
Okay.
But here, we're gonna be looking for all tag members, all right, to be subscribing to this on some basis. We're gonna have some that have no interest in resale. We are simply gonna sell them some seats, right? But if we are going to use this as a tool for our own communication, right, we can't support, all right, the ports for 100 members to be using this without cost themselves as part of it. So it's going to be part and parcel of membership in one form or another. If anybody wants access to video conferencing peer-to-peer amongst each other, right, between your star groups, all right, and everything else. This is the means by which we are going to teach, educate, and advance in the future. And it's going to be a great tool, but it's going to have a nominal cost to it. Dave, second time through, comments?
No, I mean, it's good stuff. My camera, I think on my Dell laptop's freezing up every once in a while, so I think I've had it do that on a different video session, the same thing. The video's good, controls are good. I'm anxious to just get my hands on it, play with it, make some presentations within the company, and I've got a couple customers waiting to see what it's about. So I'm pretty excited about it. I want to use it.
You'll be up and using before the middle of next week.
Good. Guys, I'm really planning on using this for my managed service clients to have quarterly meetings with, at least the first one, just to show them the new technology and interact to kind of go over some stuff, show them their reports and stuff. And I think that's going to be my first thing, sit here at the desk and do 2 or 3 of those a day. And that's how I'm going to get them introduced to the product. I'm not going to use it every quarter. Don't misunderstand me. I got to get out there and see them. But I think that's going to be my introduction to some of my larger clients.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate everybody's time. Any other questions of Jarrett or me or each other, all right, before we break off this call?
No, I'm good.
No?
We're seeing you guys next week.
You got it. We'll have some more of this ready for you when you get here.
Jared, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.